Pollution is an often underestimated but profoundly damaging factor in skin health, acting as a silent aggressor that compromises the skin's integrity on multiple levels. Unlike more obvious threats like UV radiation, pollution often operates insidiously, embedding itself into the skin through the air we breathe and the environments we navigate daily. The modern world, filled with industrial emissions, vehicle exhaust, cigarette smoke, and particulate matter, presents an unrelenting stream of pollutants that can cling to the skin's surface and infiltrate its deeper layers over time. This is especially dangerous in urban areas, where airborne toxins are more densely concentrated and prolonged exposure becomes inevitable for many. One of the primary effects of pollution on the skin is clogged pores. Particulate matter, tiny solid or liquid particles suspended in the air, mixes with skin oils, dirt, and cosmetic residue to form a film that blocks the skin's natural respiratory processes. This not only leads to the development of blackheads and acne, but it also disrupts the skin's microbiome, the delicate balance of beneficial bacteria that help regulate inflammation and ward off harmful pathogens. A disrupted microbiome leaves the skin more vulnerable to infections, flare-ups, and chronic conditions such as eczema or rosacea. What's more troubling is that this impact often becomes worse with time, as the skin's ability to repair itself weakens under constant assault. Inflammation is another severe consequence of exposure to environmental pollutants. Substances like nitrogen dioxide, ozone, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons can penetrate the outer skin barrier, triggering immune responses that result in redness, sensitivity, swelling, and itching. This chronic, low-grade inflammation, often invisible to the eye in its early stages, gradually breaks down skin structure and weakens its natural defense mechanisms. Over time, persistent inflammation can lead to long-term disorders, including persistent acne, dermatitis, and even pigmentary changes, particularly in individuals with darker skin tones, where inflammation often results in stubborn dark spots and uneven coloration. Even more concerning is the effect of pollution on oxidative stress. Many pollutants generate free radicals, unstable molecules that damage skin cells by breaking down lipids, proteins, and DNA. This oxidative stress accelerates the aging process, leading to wrinkles, fine lines, loss of firmness, and dullness. The collagen and elastin fibers that maintain the skin's youthful resilience are particularly vulnerable to free radical damage. Once these supportive structures are compromised, the skin sags and loses its smooth texture. Unlike damage from a single sunburn or one breakout, oxidative stress from pollution is a slow, accumulating force that gradually erodes the skin's foundation with very few warning signs. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of pollution-induced skin damage is its ability to interfere with the skin's natural detoxification processes. Normally, the skin uses antioxidant enzymes and natural lipids to neutralize toxins and maintain balance. However, when overwhelmed by pollution, these defense systems become depleted. This not only accelerates aging, but also reduces the skin's capacity to recover from daily stresses. Over time, skin appears increasingly fatigued, uneven in tone, and resistant to skincare treatments that once delivered visible results. The damage becomes embedded in the skin's biology, and reversing it becomes significantly more difficult and expensive, if not impossible. Additionally, pollution doesn't just affect the skin externally. It can have indirect effects through the bloodstream. Pollutants inhaled through the lungs or absorbed through the skin can circulate throughout the body and amplify internal inflammation, which in turn affects the skin. Studies have shown that high pollution exposure can worsen systemic inflammatory conditions like psoriasis or even accelerate hair loss and other dermatologic concerns. What makes this problem worse is the lack of immediate visibility. People often underestimate the impact of pollution on their skin because the signs do not always appear instantly. A slight dullness, a new patch of rough skin, a stubborn pimple. These seem minor in isolation, but over time, indicate deep-seated issues. By the time many people seek help, much of the structural and cellular damage is already entrenched. In regions with high levels of pollution, the risk is not just cosmetic, but profoundly health-related. The burden of continuous exposure creates a vicious cycle of inflammation and impaired repair, setting the stage not only for aging, but for chronic skin diseases that may require long-term management. Children and elderly individuals are particularly at risk due to their more vulnerable skin barriers and weaker immune responses. To protect against pollution, daily cleansing, antioxidant-rich skincare, and protective barriers such as moisturizers and physical shields are essential. But even these offer limited protection in severely polluted environments. Avoiding polluted areas altogether is often impractical, making it even more critical to understand just how deeply pollution can affect our skin health. The real danger lies not just in what pollution does in a single day, but in how it wears the skin down across months and years, leaving lasting consequences that are often difficult to detect until they become impossible to ignore.